So when you're creating your emails for your subscribers, you really want to try and make the content in it as personal and as relevant to each subscriber as you can. So in this tutorial, I'm going to show you how you can use conditional statements inside your emails to control which content each subscriber sees. So let's look at it. So if I go into send broadcast, I'm just in a demo account here. I'm going to open up a test email. So let's imagine this is the email we're going to sit down and write it, and then we're going to send it to our list. And let's say we have a subscriber list that is split when it comes to which social platform they prefer. Let's say half of your subscribers are active on LinkedIn and half are most active on Instagram. So there's a kind of split there. And you may want to share maybe a post or some content with them that you have on each of these platforms. And so if you click on this little @ sign here, you'll see that it's got the personalization drop down menu here. And the last one in here is called subscriber tags conditional. Okay, so I'm going to click on that, and actually I'm going to delete it and put it down in the body of the email. So subscriber tags conditional. So now we've got this little snippet of code that Kit's put in for us. So let me just walk you through to explain what it means. It looks quite complex, but it's not really. I'll put a bit of white space in so it kind of makes more sense, easier to see. So the first thing it does here is it's looking to see which tag a subscriber has. So it's saying here, if the subscriber tag list contains, and then the following tag name. So I'm going to change this to one that exists on here, active on LinkedIn, let's say. Then you could put in something like check out my latest article here on LinkedIn, and you might put a link in there. So I could add a link in there, and linkedin.com, whatever the link to the post would be, and that would give a link. Then underneath that we've got what's known as the else clause. So else just means it's a catch-all. It's if the subscriber does not have that tag in their profile, then it will come in and do whatever's in this part of the code. But we can actually take it one step further. We can actually put in what's known as an elsif tag as well. So let me just show you what I mean here. So I could change that to else if. Now what that allows us to do is add in another option. So I could say here else if, and then I'm going to copy this and then active on, and I'm going to change this to Instagram. Okay, so just to recap what I've done here. So I've said if the subscriber has the tag active on LinkedIn, I'll just make this bold so you can see it stands out a bit better. If the subscriber has the tag active on LinkedIn on their profile, then they'll see this line of text, which includes a link to the post on LinkedIn. And then underneath that, what we've got is this else if. So it's basically just another if statement. So we're saying if the subscriber has the tag active on Instagram, then what we want to do is check my latest article here on, and then we'll put Instagram. So it could be the same article I've created. I may have posted it on LinkedIn, and then I've posted it on LinkedIn on Instagram as well. And that would be the link to the post, whatever that would be. So let's tidy this up a little bit. So I'm going to highlight in red the bit that's actually known as liquid code. So just so we don't get it confused with other text in the email. You don't need to make this different colours, by the way. I'm just doing this for demonstration purposes while I'm showing you this. So the bits that are all coloured in red, the email does not display this when the email is sent to the subscribers. The bits that are in red are just conditional statements that will determine which content gets sent to which subscriber. So it goes through, if you're sending this out to, let's say, 100 subscribers, every time it's sent out, Kit will go through and say, does this subscriber have the tag active on LinkedIn? If the answer is yes, then they'll see this line here. Whereas if they don't have that, but they do have the active on Instagram tag on their profile, then they'll see this sentence here, and they won't see that one up there. That won't ever appear in their email. And then the bit at the bottom where it's just else, that's like a catch-all. So maybe there's subscribers in there that are not active on LinkedIn or active on Instagram. They might not be active on social media. So you've got this catch-all at the bottom. So you could always say something in here like, check. Let me copy this, put it down there. Check out my latest article here on, and we could change that to maybe on my website. Okay, so if you're not active on socials, you could always check it on my website. And again, I'd put a link in there. So, and say blog, where I store my blog posts. And then the closing statement here at the bottom is end if. So the bits in red are what's known as the conditional, and here the personalization, the conditional subscriber tag liquid code, and the bits in black are the bits that will potentially be shown to someone. So let's see this in action, how it actually works. By the way, what we'll say is as well, if you preview this, so where this text is red, where I'm showing you this as being liquid code, if I preview it, that gets replaced by default with the catch-all, the condition at the end, because nobody's got those tags. So you can see it renders properly. If I was to do a typo in here, let's say I spelled else with an E, elsif with an E, and then did preview, you'll see there's an error. It's saying something doesn't look right. I don't understand this word elsif. Okay, and then if I remove that E again and then do preview, you can see it's happy again. Okay, but how does this actually appear for subscribers? So let's go and do a test. Let me go across to subscribers. Remember, this is a demo account. So in the first, I'm going to take the first 3 subscribers here, purely at random: Jeremiah, Lucy, and Tim. So I'm going to get into Jeremiah's profile, and at the bottom I'm going to add a tag called active on Instagram and add that tag. Okay, and then I'm going to go back to the list, and this time I'm going to take Lucy, and I'm going to say Lucy is active. She's got the tag active on LinkedIn. And then the third subscriber, which in this case is Tim, I'm not going to add any tag to Tim. So Jeremiah's got the Instagram tag, Lucy's got the LinkedIn tag, and Tim doesn't have a tag. So you can see that the email addresses here: Jerry, Lucy, and Tim. So I'm going to test those now over here. Okay, so how do we test that? So if I click on this preview button, at the top left, you'll see there's a preview as subscriber option. So I'm going to click on that, and I'm going to type in Jerry, because that was the first one. I see his email popping up, so I'll click on Jerry's email address, and then on the right hand side you'll see it now says, hello Jeremiah, check out my latest article here on Instagram. Now, he doesn't see any other text. That's the only line of text that he'll see. Now if I try it with Lucy at Proven Flows, you see it now changes to LinkedIn. So hi Lucy, here's my latest article on LinkedIn. And then the third one, can't remember the third one. Who was the third one? Tim. So if I go and type in Tim at Proven Flows, it should now say check out my website, because Tim doesn't have any of those 2 tags. So click on Tim, and that takes him to my website. Okay, so that's how the conditional stuff works. Remember, in here, when you're creating this inside your emails, it doesn't change color. I've just highlighted the liquid stuff in red, so it's easier to point out. But by default, it'll just be all the same color of text like this. That's the way. That's the way to look. So this is very, very powerful. And once you wrap your head around how to use this, you'll come up with lots of great ideas about how you can make the content inside your email as personal and as relevant for each subscriber as you can.